What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new video. We got Shadow back on the video. We got the infamous Bullet out here in the video. So a lot of you might be wondering why it is that I have both cars parked right next to each other here in my driveway, and the reason for that is because I'm going to finally make that video that a lot of you guys been like kind of quote unquote asking for, and that is what car would be the better one to purchase at a young age for a quote-unquote car build. Now mind you, this is going to differ a lot on age, credit, money, financial status, depending on where you live, etc. Now, I am kind of directing this video for people who are younger, for people who have a low budget and they really want to get serious about building a car, and they want to find the best sounding, best looking, best bang for your buck type of vehicle to get for your build. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. So as you guys can see, we have a car that costed me personally around, I believe, $5,500 all said and done for this car, which is an incredible price considering how much they're worth today. And I mean, that's not like counting all the after modifications that I've done to the car, so don't mind that, because that is not what the car is going to come out to if you're considering all the stuff that you've done to it. That's exactly why we're making this video, actually, to cover all of that and the differences between each car. Now this car right here, this car came out to, I guess, if you can say like all finance and stuff, it came out to 42 and change all said and done. Again, not counting all of the modifications that I have on the vehicle. I'm going to tell you what the pros and cons of these two vehicles are, and we're gonna start off with this car right here. So this is obviously the older car in the fleet. It's a 2001 Ford Mustang GT Bullet. Now there's only 1,900 of them in black, which I actually got very lucky to have. This thing right here, the pros and cons. So cons, it sounds amazing but not the best. I mean, like this car, if you don't have an exhaust on this thing that really opens up the engine, your car is gonna sound like trash when it's stock. Now with that being said, that is also one of the pros, that with this type of vehicle, it is a V8. It's a low cost V8, so if you do open up the engine and get a nice exhaust for it, you're gonna get a symphony of a sound for half of what any other car in today's market will cost you. Now with that being said, you can get headers, a full-on catback in the aftermarket. I guess like on any page that like sells, resell stuff like OfferUp, eBay, stuff like that, you can find an exhaust for these things that is very, very friendly to your pocket. Now with that being said, this car is also really good for all the aftermarket modifications. For example, these tail lights right here, the spoiler, the bumpers, the wheels. Like these wheels are probably like $500 to set on like a good day where you find the right seller and stuff. These lights were only 300, no, less than that now. They're a lot less than that now, and stuff like that is exactly why I think this is one hell of a car. Now on to the pros with this thing right here, and this thing has a lot. However, it does have some cons as well. So starting off with the pros is that right off the bat, you're getting legit performance with the MagRide, all the intercoolers this car has. The engine has 455 horsepower and same number with torque. Now that's gonna give you, an insane amount of performance if you're into the whole performance thing. Not like me, because I went for looks instead of performance for the most part. With that being said, all of the parts for these cars are gonna cost you a good chunk of change. For example, these wheels alone, I got these wheels for $3,500, just the wheels alone. The spoiler, when I got it, it was one of the first ones, one of the first replicas that came out, and it's literally plastic. It was $700. They're a lot cheaper now, but it was $700 back then. These taillights, for instance, they're gonna cost you around $500 a pair, which is crazy. Now, it's expensive, but the looks are killer. Like, this thing looks so good. It's it's always been a dream car of mine to have a Camaro, and I got so lucky to have both. My first realistic dream car that gets up there with the whole, like, again, performance aspect of dream cars, and I've always had, you know, this like desire to have a Cobra, which I can't unfortunately have, but I do have this Bullet that sounds amazing, and it's the closest thing that I can have to a Cobra, which I'm happy with, and I love it. So I'm really happy with both of these cars. Again, now here comes the reality of things. Now I'm gonna make a whole list of the cost and what everything came out to be to make this car look the way that it does. Of course, I've invested a lot more in this car than I have in this car, and the reason for that is because I barely got this car. Well, I won't say barely, but I got this car just a year ago, and I got this car 3 years ago. So there's obviously a difference in between, you know, time and how much I've spent on this compared to that. But it's not because I like this one more than this one. It's just that I haven't had this one for as long as this one, and this one I've had a lot longer than that one, and that one just, you know.
This one for as long as this one, and this one I've had a lot longer than that one, and that one is, you know.
So, alright, now getting out of the way, I gotta tell you guys that for those people who are actually gonna be buying again a car, and you guys want to build the car, and you just, you know, you don't really care about performance, I tell you guys that this will be the best car to suit those people who don't really want to rip their bank account apart, but want to have a nice little build. I mean, you can really get the small little performance and squeeze everything out of this car for not even a third of what you would spend for this thing right here, because this thing has a lot of potential and is gonna run you a lot of money. Now, speaking of looks, again, you can make one of these cars look killer. Again, so I've seen a lot of these Mustangs, you know, on Instagram, on the road, that look so clean. I mean, they sometimes make me feel like I would take one of these over one of those, which is crazy, right? But that's just how much potential these cars also have. And again, just looks by themselves, you can build one of these for half of the price that you'll build one of these to look the way that it does. Again, just to compare. So this is your POV to that 2001 Mustang GT. Now, it's not a bad car. Again, it's not going to be the best. There's a lot of stuff that can get upgraded in here. This is your POV driving the Camaro SS. Now, as you guys can see, there's a lot less visibility just from sitting here in the cockpit. I mean, look at your blind spot. It's a real blind spot. And I mean, this pillar right here takes up half of the visibility to your right, and this one takes half of the visibility towards your left. Now, it's not something to complain about when you get this beautiful interior here that you can match up with a lot of carbon, which I don't currently have because I don't have money and I'm not a rich boy like a lot of people here on YouTube are, but it can get you somewhere. I'm telling you guys that this is not a bad car. I'm not saying it's a bad car at all. What I'm saying is I prefer that car to build for my first and starting car. A lot of people have different opinions. Again, it's just depending on how, I guess, how much you can make on a month-to-month basis or a yearly basis. A lot of people have it a lot different from how I do and how other people do. So, I mean, it's really up to you guys. Again, you know, the video's not over. Okay guys, so we ended up coming inside our room in our little mini office right here. Okay, starting off with the Camaro. Again, we have a base price of 42 grand, give or take, because that's how much it comes out to be, or how much it came out to be for me, with financing and everything. Now, the bags were around $3,000. I had also previously put on springs like 2 or 3 months before putting on bags, which is stupid, but anyways, I spent $800 on springs, installation, and everything else that I needed. I spent $1,400 for that carbon hood. I spent $300 for the muffler delete, plus the tips of the car. Like, they're on the car now. They're 4-inch tips, and I spent $300 altogether. Now, I spent for that wing. Again, this is the part that I regret the most because they were really expensive back then. Now they're not. The wing, I spent $700. More than that, I'm pretty sure I spent almost around $800, but I'm gonna just give $700 because that's the last price I remember paying for that. Now the wheels alone, I'm not counting and including tires, those were $3,500. So the wheels were a hefty amount in my opinion, just as much as the bags were. But They both work really good with the car, so I'm more than happy. Now, the other thing that I spent was skirts. I think those are $450 now from Extreme Alliance, so they're not that good. I don't remember. I think that's where I got them from. I have the tickets and the receipts, but I'm not gonna look for those. Front bumper was $1,300. It was $900 and something for the bumper itself, plus handling and shipping and tax and all of that. It came out to more than $1,000. Now I got it painted for $300 because I got a hookup from the people that did it. Now for the lower lips, which is the splitter extensions, as a lot of people like to say that was $200 because I got a hookup from a friend and he had one. Tint was free. Taillights were $250. That's how much I paid for mine. And I haven't gotten a rear bumper that's like new to the car. So the total for that is $54 grand and $80 just in those mods right there, which does not include every single mod I've had before, and it does not include all of the car services, the tires, and all of that. So that's just a base price for the build, $54 grand. Now for my Mustang, I got the car for $5,500. No bags, no springs because it came like that. No intake, no hood. It's still running the factory hood. I also got a muffler delete for that one. It was $180 just for the muffler delete. The wing was $250, I believe, for the Cobra wing, and it was $500 for the wheels. It was $100 for the side skirts, $300 for the front bumper, the front Cobra bumper. Tint was free for that as well. Lower lips was $70 and $280 for the tail lights that I bought. Now the rear bumper I also got a hookup from this guy because it had like the bad bond. It still has it. I haven't fixed it, but that was only $100. So that total comes out to $7,280, which is the best bang for your buck. Now I recommend a 2-valve for those people who really want to start, building their first car build. Now with that being said, again, like I said, go ahead and comment down below what your favorite car is, and please subscribe, please like, and I think I'll see you guys on the next video. So peace.